Everybody is the Mark from the Power Project.
And I'm Chris from Population Health.
And this is Things and Topics. And today's episode is PrEP.
PrEP.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you need to know about PrEP, everything you don't know, everything you want to know.
And everything you don't want to know, we gonna tell you.
So get ready.
PrEP. Little R, big P. Yeah. For you, and you, and you. Yeah, big P, little R. Big E and P. Big P energy. This isn't right. No.
Feels like I'm stuck in a poltergeist.
That too. Oh. Alright. This is wrong.
We have friends on the other side.
This is very wrong. Okay, so today is the PrEP episode, but before we start, I know you've noticed there's a difference in the way we look.
I haven't.
My hair. Shirts! Don't we look good? Right? We haven't acknowledged the shirts.
These are nice.
Oh, whatever. Chase the topics.
They came from Burlington.
However, today is the PrEP episode. PrEP. You know what it stands for?
Pre-exposure prophylaxis. I can't never pronounce that word, but you know what I mean.
Prophylaxis, not to be confused with laxative. However, we cannot do a PrEP episode without Chase Braxton's own PrEP coordinator. So, through the digital worlds that we have to go through to bring them here, we shall. Let's put in the code. A, up, down, left, right, up, down, left, right. And he's here. The code worked. So, PrEP. Now, I will say when I first heard about PrEP, I had just started working at Hopkins. It was my first, actually my first job. PrEP was still a study. And I remember we were getting participants to begin the study. We had to get men of color who had a high, who was at risk. I remember it was the qualifications. And there was like, you had to take the pill, there was a hair sample thing, they had to take, they had to get in a DEXA machine, which measures your bone density. And it was, and people were so up in a tizzy about like, what is this pill? I've done my own research because everybody's qualified on Google.
Everybody's envy.
And yeah, it was, I just remember it's so crazy now that it's so accessible now, and it's a PrEP with you all.
PrEP is interesting. So I came into PrEP maybe like 6 years ago, maybe now longer.
And they were doing like I'm not even calling it nationwide, but PrEP became like the it girl of the corner.
Yes.
So they hired a bunch of people in the community to be a part of the PrEP coalition. So I started working at Hopkins and became a PrEP navigator there, along with like a dozen other PrEP navigators. And then, yeah, it slowly started to, transform. And like, Hopkins is definitely more research-based, so I didn't have to do a lot of our patients didn't have to do any of like the bone density like machines.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have to do that. They didn't have to do any like hair samples. It sounds like you're trying to make clones. I don't know what's going on.
The hair samples was the measure. It was to make sure that you was, because like most medications, your nails, your hair, your tears, it measures that you've been actually taking the medication. So they do hair samples.
So we didn't do that. But we did at least link people to PrEP care. So we went to providers. And then, just also like a lot of people just weren't on board with PrEP, because now I feel like PrEP is now definitely more mainstream than it's ever been before.
Mind you, this is back, I was 20, this is back 2013? This is some time ago.
Yeah. So it's definitely.
Not saying that we owe.
I don't have an age.
Not us, that one.
I don't have an age.
How about you, James?
Like Chris, but mine started in 2012. So, but like Chris, when I transitioned over to Chase Braxton, I became a peer navigator, and we both were in the coalition for the PrEP of Maryland. And so we did a lot of, and Chase Braxton my position, along with my two friends at the time, Jamal and Cedric, we were kind of head spearing the PrEP services at Chase Braxton, along with the Power Clinic, just starting up. And at the time, it was Annie Lee was the provider, and so we did a lot of case management for PrEP. So at the time, we was learning about the pills that were being used for PrEP, the side effects, so we can inform clients and stuff like that. And like Chris said, a lot of people wasn't really on board. So our job was to educate people and inform them how effective a tool the PrEP was for those who were HIV negative and to remain HIV negative. So that was a very important educational piece that we like to put in when we were talking to clients or people who were interested in PrEP, or as you know, when we're doing rapid HIV screening or STI screening, we educate them on PrEP as well. So it became a mission for me personally, because being a part of the community and so many of my friends and family members and people that I just know in general, succumbing to the HIV virus or passing away because of complications of HIV, it became an important mission for me.
So I feel like also with PrEP, I know it's kind of projected to or catered to the LGBTQIA plus community. However, it's really for everyone. It's genuinely for everyone. I think some of the issues come, and of course it goes hand in hand with HIV. It's not for me because I'm not doing anything that's going to put me at risk. And that's the thing we interact. I think like all of us interact with or we encounter individuals that are like, it doesn't affect me. So as far as PrEP is concerned, we have Tivicay, Truvada, and we got a shot now named Descovy! Sorry, I was about HIV beds. So we have PrEP medications such as Descovy, Truvada, and we also have a shot now called
Apretude. And we have a generic form of Truvada. M10.
The shot's called what?
Apretude.
It sounds like that Patti LaBelle song. I got a new attitude.
Low key. That was a commercial though. That was a commercial.
Yeah, no, it's
Low key.
It's trademark. Don't take it.
But yeah, I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to PrEP, there's that weird conversation. Some people are just like, well, I have a lot of sex, which isn't bad. It's just kind of like, well, if this is what you're doing, you also need to be aware of like things that can, of course, there's condoms, and it's great, but also not everyone likes condoms. PrEP would be great for you. A lot of misconceptions as far as who needs it comes to play. Have you all encountered this?
Well, you counter that every day because the way that PrEP is promoted, that you would think it was just for gay men. You know, just like HIV was supposed to be just a gay man's disease, right? So a lot of times people think, oh, I don't need that because that's only for gay men or men that have sex with men or people who are doing things that they shouldn't be doing, quotations, right? So, but PrEP is, like you said, it's for everybody. You know, whatever kind of sex you're having, whatever kind of drug use you're partaking in, which has to incorporate any needle injections and anything like that. PrEP is a tool that is very useful in battling the HIV epidemic, this GR1 population or TL community of people. It's for everyone because HIV affects the world, right?
Absolutely. I saw this thing when we was getting ready for the episode. I saw it said I don't know how I felt about it. It said it's not encouraged with intravenous drug users, but I'm kind of like,
I guess it's not promoted as much,
right?
Intravenous drug users, but we all know that, right? A lot of our cases of HIV transmission comes from intravenous drug use or sharing needles per se.
Not the drag queen,
right?
Not the drag queen, not sharing needles.
Oh shit!
We're in this place where it's representation matters, right? And I feel like I do think some of the marketing needs to change because there's so many. We see trans individuals in the commercials, we see gay individuals, and then the straight couples. It's like
quick.
It's so fast, and I get it. They're like, whoa, this population has this, but I'm kind of like, but you want everyone to be safe. shouldn't there be some commercials for like with straight identifying couples? You know what I mean?
And just not couples, people period.
Right.
Because alarmingly, we would think that the gay men population has the highest infection rate, but it's actually African American rate. You know, so it has to be more geared towards people, individualized, you know, to commercial, as you say, or promotion or advertisement towards them. And there's been talks with the pharmaceutical companies on increasing visibility for individuals, especially women.
Because sometimes it feels like we're a quick grab. Like, it's like, gay. And it's like, all right, we get it.
Put it on them. They know it. It's already there.
Yeah, it's like, we on board already. Like, we get it. We know. No one hears it more than we do.
Right.
But straight people, or they'll be like, what is this for me? I was like, yeah, it can be. And I will say, James has been very big on making sure that PrEP is accessible and making sure not just at Mount Vernon but also at the other the Chase Braxton locations, and making sure that not only just the pill, the shot is accessible and people are acknowledging that it's not only are you able to get it but what insurance you have. Because the other thing I feel like, I genuinely do think, maybe not in high school but maybe in high school, insurance and stuff like that needs to be taught, because you do not get taught about insurance, and if you have it, you're able to get the shot. And some people that has a problem with taking pills, they're able to get Aperture, and they're able to, you know, in it's the first 2 months,
Back to back.
right, back to back, and then it's every
other month.
there we go, every other month, which is easy for people.
Take the shot. How big is the needle? Because I know some people might be like, I don't like needles. I don't want to get shot.
So anybody that doesn't like needles is not going to like the size of any needle. So it's not really a big needle. It's average size and stuff for the injectable. And what's good about the injectable is that everyone can take the injectable. Whereas you had Truvada and Descovy, there was some restrictions, like anyone having vaginal sex was not able to take Descovy. You know, whereas Truvada, everybody can take Truvada, but like you said, some people were having, you know, some effects with taking Truvada or taking a pill, period.
So now that the shot is available, anyone can take it?
Yes. Okay. Yes, as a shot. The injectable is available to everyone.
And how long, what's the duration? So how long do you have to go to your, because I know for PrEP or Truvada or Descovy, you would have to go every 6 months?
3.
So now you have to go every 3 months?
No, with Truvada. With Truvada, with the pill, it's every 3 months.
Because I've been going so long, I go every 6 months. I go every 6 months.
Right.
My doctor's like, come next month.
It must be nice. Some of us is on PrEP.
So with the pill, so with the shot, you have to go
every 2 months because you have to get your shot. You
Okay.
know, and you can either be a week before your actual date or a week after. Anything outside of that, you would have to start the cycle all over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
it's
good
very
to know.
important. You know, it's very important to be adherent to the injectable. And the injectable, I feel like with people, like you say, who have problems with taking a pill or being adherent issues with medications and stuff, the shot works out better because it's one shot every other month. You don't really have to think about it. The only thing you have to think about is just making your appointment on time that you scheduled for your shot, because it has to be within that time frame.
So you don't get a
No, you get it
Tuck
in
it.
your buttocks. And
The
what I've
boots.
just learned is that for anyone who has implants or silicone injections, it might not, the injectable might not be. Because it's hard to facilitate the medication through silicone or any injecting. So they're working on, or they're asking questions about where else could the shot
So
be
is it
administered.
just silicone they're saying, or is it like if people get fat removed from like a certain part of their body?
That's a good question. I have to follow up on that. Like fat transfer or what do they call it
You
now?
gonna proceed
BBL? BBLs
Yes.
and stuff, right? And I wonder that because that's mainly their flesh as it is, right?
Of course, if you're having an issue, you know, you have an issue keeping regular appointments, you're having an issue following up and keeping up with your normal appointments, Aperture may not be for you. The thing with PrEP, I will say that I noticed, especially back when it was the study days, people were having more sex because they was on PrEP. Because it's like, oh, I'm on PrEP. And it's like, oh, yes, PrEP can protect you from one thing if used or taken like it's supposed to. However, STIs still can happen.
I was encouraged that while you're on PrEP that you still use condoms.
It's one of the things to protect you, but just
just protect you against
HIV.
So, and that's always has to be a message that's clear. That when you are educating people on PrEP and the usage and effectiveness of PrEP, that it only protects you against HIV and not any other STIs. And that's why we still encourage condom use, safe sex practices on what do you do? Because, like you said, for a lot of people, raw is law, and people have that unspoken language when you are intimate. Like, well, if you don't grab for it and I don't grab for it, it's either one of two things. Either we both are negative or we both are positive. And it's okay. In their minds, it's okay. And you really don't know because you're not having that verbal conversation, right? And like,
don't forget online, offline thinking. We talked about this.
And I tell clients all the time, would you rather take a pill because you're HIV positive, or do you want to take a pill to remain HIV negative? Which one lays heavier on your head? And now, do you want to take a shot because you're HIV positive, or do you want to take a shot to remain HIV negative? Which one weighs better on your mental? Because I always tell people, although HIV is a medical condition, it's more mental than it is medical.
And what kind of because it's still kind of on the topic of PrEP. What kind of advice do you give people that are in the midst of having sex and they're like, oh, I don't want to wear a condom, I don't want to PrEP? What kind of advice do you give them to initiate a conversation about that beforehand?
My advice is to just say it out loud. Listen, hey, I'm on PrEP. Are you, or how do you feel about PrEP? Have you heard about PrEP? And if you are on PrEP, which form do you take? Do you take a pill? Do you take an injectable? Again, those moments are teachable moments for somebody that might not be educated on it, somebody that might be afraid of it, or somebody who has never heard about it. Because we do a lot of rapid testing, a lot of people still have not heard of PrEP. Which amazes me because of all the advertisement and stuff. But again, that becomes a teachable moment. So when you're intimate with somebody and you yourself are on PrEP, beforehand, you can just have those conversations.
Because I know some people just have those issues of being the initiator of that conversation. Because sex, in the moment, talking about sex can be awkward, even though you talk about it a lot.
Right.
You talk about the fun stuff.
Particular
hospital.
So two main ones that we definitely know, well, three. Hopkins, Mercy, and University of Maryland. Those three definitely administer PrEP medication, and they give you a certain day supply until you can come to us, because a lot of their clients are referred to us. Although the University of Maryland has PrEP clinics themselves with different programs that they have as well. But a lot of clients are referred to Chase.
Leads us into our next conversation, or segment, if you will. To PrEP or not to PrEP? All right, James.
Yeah.
Same-sex couple who is in an open relationship, to PrEP or not to PrEP?
Open sexual relationship? To PrEP.
To PrEP.
So someone who is practicing abstinence, should they PrEP?
Not to PrEP. Well, no, I would say not to PrEP. However, they can PrEP if they felt like one day they're going to break their abstinence and they're ready to indulge into sex.
Okay, double question.
Cisgendered male.
To PrEP.
Cisgendered male in college, having good time, having lots of sex, that he prefers no condoms.
To PrEP.
To PrEP.
And get an HPV shot.
And get an HPV. Yes, Lord, that'll be another topic. We'll chase that topic later.
Someone who identifies as bisexual and has sex with both genders.
To PrEP. Most certainly.
Sex worker, but they always use condoms.
I would say still to PrEP.
To PrEP.
Because you never know. It could be that one night of sleazy pleasure and the condom breaks and...
Well, the money's really good.
Right. But that's when PEP. To pay. Right?
To PEP.
Someone who is... I lost it. Someone who is having different types of sex, so fetishes.
Mm-hmm.
So anything from fisting, dildos, BDM, what is it?
BDSM.
BDSM, any of those things.
Yeah, definitely to PrEP, because the toys, if not sterilized correctly, can carry different viruses and infections can happen.
Did y'all catch that? Toys to PrEP. And that was, ladies, gents, and all in between. To PrEP or not to PrEP? That was today's topic.
Yeah.
So, talk to your provider about PrEP. If you're at Chase Braxton, come up to the 6th floor and talk to us. Talk to James.
Hey, I'm always here. I'm in Mount Vernon. I'm in Randallstown. I'm in Columbia. I'm in Glen Burnie. I'm in Houston. I'm everywhere. You know, you can hit my extension 1408.
A worldwide person.
You know, I try to be. I try to be available for everyone, right? And when people say
The Beyonce of Chase Braxton.
I can really say that. When people say, like we was talking earlier, when people say it might not be for me, I feel like anybody that's involved in sex should really think about PrEP. Or when people say it's not for me, if it might not be for you, take that education and pass it along to somebody else that it might be for. I mean, you know, even though we know that PrEP is geared towards the LGBT community so much, there's somebody in your family, there's somebody in your network who is a part of the LGBT community, right? And they're coming out younger and younger and younger, since sexual identity and sexual expression is so fluid nowadays and so widely accepted worldwide. You will want this information.
So, come on up, especially if you're Mount Vernon. Come talk to the power team about PrEP or PAP. Until next time, folks.
Hasta luego.
Bye.
Arrivederci.